Hello, welcome you all to this lecture 3 on design of multi-story structure. In the previous lecture, we have seen that how to assign different types of loads on the multi-story structure, and we have also seen how to do the preliminary check and how to do the analysis of a multi-story structure using ETABS. So today we are going to do analysis, and we are going to learn how to see the bending moment and a shear force diagram, and how to take the values in the table format. Also we'll be looking into uh, the design aspects. So so we are going to complete the analysis and design of a multi-story building. So today we will start with one more introducing one more beam. If you want to introduce a beam in between the any grid lines, then how to do those things. If you have such a criteria, maybe you have a secondary beam which is coming in between any one of these uh, frames in this rectangular component, then how to insert the beam. So what we can do is we can draw the beams in between. For that, what you have to do is you have to first go to draw, and you have to go to this, you have to switch on this snap option, which is called uh, normally this will be switched off line ends and midpoints. So this feature is also available in AutoCAD, that we have the snapshots. If you click on that, you will be able to see as you move your cursor onto those lines, you will be able to get midpoint. It will be showing the intersection and the joints. So check this box and click apply. Close this window. Now go to draw beam. So let us draw one beam, secondary beam between these two beams. Okay, so just draw one beam. So now I have drawn the uh, a secondary beam in this plan, and as you can see that it is exactly at the midpoint. For example, if you want to change this position of this beam to somewhere else, not exactly at the midpoint, then how to do that? So it is very simple. You select the joint, okay, and right click on that particular joint. Go to geometry. Here you have to move this uh, that is this particular node. Assume you have to move upward by a 1 meter. So then exactly, actually now this is at a position which is 7.5 meter from the origin, because in ETAP this is horizontal line is x-axis, and in the plan this is the y-axis. So we need to move this along y-axis, and if you want to move upward, you have to add the respective value. If you want to move this node downward, then we need to uh, minimize this value. So I need to move this by 1 meter from this position. So I will change this global y uh, distance. Instead of 7.5, we'll make it 8.5. Click OK. So once you click, you can see that the particular node has been moved from midpoint towards upward by a distance of 1 meter. So similarly, you repeat this same uh, way. You move this joint also. If you need to move this again in 1 meter, and you have to make this as an horizontal beam, so you can repeat the same. Make it 8.5. Click OK. So like that, if you want to introduce any beams in the uh, defined already predefined plan, you can do that. So that option is also available. So now let us run the analysis, and let's see how the results we will be able to get in the ETABS. Either you click the here, or you go to analysis and you can check on run analysis. So both are going to do are going to do the analysis of a structure. Now you can see it is analyzing here. Now you can see that this structure has been deformed, and our analysis has been completed. You can see that you will get this option, start animation. So if we click on start animation, you can able to see how the deformations of this building will take place. So you can see that the animation, how the building is going to be. Now we will see the bending moment diagram. So click here, display frame peers, or you can go to display option here, where you can go to forces stresses diagram. So if you click on this frames peers Van der link forces, by clicking this you will be able to get uh, the different forces. Maybe if you want shear force, or if you want movement. If you want shear force, you need to check the shear force in axis 2 2. So that is nothing but the local axis. The local axis 1 1 is nothing but equal, nothing but same as x axis, and local axis 2 2 is nothing but equal to y axis, global axis y, and local axis 3 3 is nothing but is equal to global axis zz. So normally we get shear force in shear 2 2 plane, and if you want to see the bending moment, we need to check the bending moment along 3 3 axis. Click this, and you have different loads as we predefined. You can select any one based on this, or you can select a combination of force. So remember, we have defined the, by default we have chosen combinations. So you can select any one from these combo that you can analyze the structure. So for just for our explanation, I'm going to select live load. So we are interested to see what is the bending moment due to live loads. So then uh, you can use either, you can give your preferred scale factor, so that how the bending moment diagrams should be. Let it be automatic, and you have display options. You have two options: either you may fill the diagram, or you may have the values will be displayed on the diagrams. You can use both the options. uh, Anyone, if you are interested in both, you can check both the options. If not, you can just check on field diagrams. So right now we are going to check on field diagrams, and because we are doing this for as frames, so you need to include this check only the frame, click apply, and you can see that in the plan section you are able to see that the bending moment diagram for the respective beams. So if you focus, okay, this is the secondary beam which we have defined in the beginning of this lecture. You can see that here this secondary beam is actually uh, transferring some amount of negative moments into these main beams here. So which is practically we don't want such scenario. If you have bending moment created here, then this beam will be subjected to torsional force. So then it is, you need to, this will be acting as a it will be producing a moment here. So instead of that, we need to make sure that the bending moment at this secondary beam needs to be 0. So that means we need to release the moment. We need to release the moment, so that we need to have bending moment at these both ends should be equal to 0. So how to do that? So to do that, to first unlock your model. So this is an option where once you do that run analysis, your structure will be locked. If it is locked, then you are not able to draw any object, you are not able to assign any loads, so you cannot do any other activities which is there in these options. So that is what it indicates. So if it is locked, you cannot do any alternatives. What you can do is only you can observe the bending moment diagram, shear force diagram, and you can only check the, or you can go for display options, or you can go for design option. Further these tabs you can use, but not, you're not going to be able to draw, or you're not able to assign any loads. So you need to uncheck, you need to unlock this. So click on that, click OK. So now we will come back to our uh, main building, the main plan. So this is the one which we need to release. We need to release the bending moment, which is having producing some negative moment. Select this beam, secondary beam, go to assign frames, have this release option, click on this release as partial fixity. So what we need is we need to release, as I told, the movement will be acting in our axis 3 3. So we need to make sure our starting and the end point should be released, so that the pending movement at those position needs to be 0. So checking on these two, click apply and click OK. And again now you run the analysis and check for the bending moment diagram what now it gives. So after analyzing, you can able to see that our uh, bending moment diagram at this particular beam will be having zero bending moment at the edges. Okay, we have completed our analysis. So either you go here display, you can go for force assign stress, or you can use the shortcut which is nothing but this is the shortcut which we use for frame PS spandrel link forces. So click on that. So we're going to do the same thing, live load for checking M3, click apply, click OK. So if you see now, this particular secondary beam, earlier it was having movement produced at ends, has been released. Now the bending moment at this point will be 0, which means you can just take the support reaction which is coming here, and you can convert that into a point load. So that will become a point load which is acting on the beam. So this is how you can release the moments using these E-taps. Okay, now we will see the other aspects. Select any beam, select any beam by left clicking, then right click on any particular beam. So you will be getting one frame where it will be showing the different option the particular beam is having. For example, you can see that here you can choose the different loads depending on your requirements, load combination, so different things you can do. So we will be doing this for live load. This is an option where it will be showing only the maximum values. For example, here this is displaying the maximum moments or maximum distance at which the movement is having a maximum intensity, and this is uh, support reaction. And the second diagram is nothing but is showing the shear force diagram, and this is the maximum shear force and at what place, and bending moment diagram here, and it is showing what is the maximum bending moment which has occurred in this particular beam. And finally the last one is nothing but it's a deflection, it's showing the deflection. So if you check this maximum option, it will be showing only the maximum result. You have another option called scroll for values. So if you click on this scroll for values, and if you move your cursor at any point at a given place, so you can able to see that what is the movement and what is the shear force, what is the bending moment here, and what is the deflection at that point. So that all this is a result obtained at a meter 4.05. So if you want to know where at 4 meter what will be the result, so at 4 meter you will be able to get these values. This is nothing but our ILD diagram, so influence line diagram method. So this is how our ETAPs will give the outputs, so you can check these values for your further design. Similarly, have options absolute maximum movements, relative to beam ends. So these are all other options we have. So if you want accordingly, you can select these options. And normally for normal buildings we use relative beam ends method, and that will give you the proper answers, and that will be used for designing the reinforcement for particular beam. So this is how you can see graphically particular beams. bending moment diagram. Similarly, you can uh, go for shear force, click apply. So now you are be able to see that if you see the 3D modeling, so this not only in beams, it's also showing the shear forces in the columns also. So you can see that shear forces are at the column. So similarly, you click on any object, right click on any object. Okay, so that object will be displayed, and that object, because now we have selected the column, so the columns have been displayed here with the shear force and the bending moment acting on that particular building. But this entire figure is showing you the shear force. We had this another option called show values. So I will check this field diagram. I will just check this show values at controlling stations on diagrams. So what this makes, it will display the values. You can see that here. For better, you will go to elevation. You can see that the bending moment values have been displayed here. uh, Sorry, these are shear force, so shear force values are displayed here. So you can note down, and you can have this for your further analysis. That is how these tabs will be giving you the results. So if you want this results needs to be copied in Excel, we have option in eTab that we can convert all these values, the analysis results, into Excel format. How to get the results in table format is here in go to display, click on show tables. On the show table, you have these options. You can select the load patterns, load combinations according to your wish. You can select what type of load you want and what is the type particularly you want to check. So for now we will select all. So here come to this analysis result. You have this joint output. If you want to know what is the reactions, so check that box. And similarly, if you want to know what is the outputs of that frame, you can check on that. And if you want uh, other informations like name of the object elements and all those things, you can get it here from the analysis tab. So now I selected reactions and frame outputs, so just click OK. Now the tabs will give the values in table format. Here is our selection. If you want to see what is the reactions, so you can see these are all nothing but the node numbers, at what place we have this fx, fyz, and moment along x and y direction. So all these details will be for the these are all nothing but it will be at the base reaction, support reaction at the foundation. So this is giving for all the combinations uh, a separate value for live load and for also for combination of loads, decon combination for all. It will be giving the results. So taking these values in Excel, you can predict at what stage it is having maximum. You can sort out for getting the maximum values. For that, you can start designing the work. How to export these values into Excel? It's very simple. You go to this file option. Here you have export the current table to Excel. So clicking on this, you can able to get all the values for the different node points and forces and bending moments for all the nodes for different combination of loads. All you can see it in the Excel format, and here you can do filtering, and by doing filtering you can select the required values for the design of your footing. So similarly, you can select element forces, beams, where you can able to see the uh, bending moment values, shear force values, and bending moment values of the respective elements. So that is at each story levels, and according to the beam numbers and according to the respective stories, you can get all the details here. Similarly, you can export into your Excel format. Similarly for columns, so if you select the column, you will get the result where you will be able to get what is the axial force and what is the moment and shear force acting on the respective columns. So this is how you can actually export these values into Excel. So from there you can actually carry on your work to do some design work or to interpret the values. In ETABS we have one more option which we use uh, quite oftenly, that is set view option. So you can click on this set display option where you have uh, these options for giving name, section properties, and if you want to see only the beams, then uncheck all, only click beams. So it will only be displaying the beams and the names of the beam, so that you will be able to easily catch the name and number of the beam. So we have this additional option called extrude frames option. So check both the option and click apply. Now you can see that the beams and columns of their respective dimensions. So which is as you can see it here. So which is you can rotate and you can actually look into the different aspect. You can get a better picture looking into this extrude option. Okay. So now we'll uncheck those. You can also able to see the deformed shape of the structure. For example, if you want to see the deformed shape of any type of load, so for example wind load, and prefer this mode as 1 and click apply. Okay, and you can able to see the animated way how the wind force is affecting the building. So click on start animation. You can see that how the deformation shape of the building is taking place. So you can see that how the deformation of the building is taking for this applying of wind load. So similarly, you can check for other loads how the this deformation will happen for the different types of loads. So you have to just change the load here and check the respective type of loads, and you can check the deformation shape of the respective building. If you want to see the support reactions and the respective values, go to display here. Under force stress diagram you have support and spring or spring reactions. So click on that and you check the similarly you check the different combination of force or different types of loads, and you check on all the box, that is you need to know what is the display of results and all the direction that is in the support reaction. So click apply, click OK. You can see that the support reactions at different axes. You can actually see the exact value of the support reactions. Or you go to elevation and just bring your mouse to any support, so it will actually give you the support reaction forces at the particular node, so that you can note down, or you can actually take this from the table also. By taking support reaction you can take out the values in this table format. So that is how you will be able to design the foundation based on the reactions which are applied in the at the level of the base. So you can use this for designing of foundation. And also you can see the shell stresses, that is stress on the slab. So click here, you can select stress result, how the shell has a stress applied here on the slab. So click apply. You can see how the stresses applied on the different floors, having a different intensity. So thereby you will be able to design the slab here. As we have done with analysis and displaying of bending moment and shear force. Let us move on to design aspect. So in the design aspect, as we are doing the concrete frame design, uh, we'll be interested in setting the options for concrete frame design. If you are doing any other design, you can select the appropriate options here, and you can do the uh, design for a multi-story structure. So we have few options here. Before we start the design check, you need to check whether we have the code selection is proper one. So we have IS 456, that is what we are looking into, and these are all you need to consider the moments or eccentricity or not. So these options by default will be selected. If you want to make changes, if you know the particular value, then a factor limit, if you want to utilize this factor of safety, then you can change the factor limit. This is the factor of safety for steel. Then you can click OK. Go to again same design, which is asking what are the combination of forces which you want to exclude. Any combo here out of this 20, you can just bring it to the left side, so that that combination will not be considered for design. So because we need to know the uh, how the designs will be done for all the combos. We'll select all here, click OK, and go to design concrete. Now you click on start design check. So you can click on start design. Now the tabs will run for checking the design. So it's take some time. Now it has given the results. So as you can see that here in this beam you have to give at the top the reinforcement needs to be 434 mm square, and at the bottom 365 mm square. So this is given AST, the area of steel needs to be provided. So we'll go to some elevation, you can see that. So if you take this at the end strip, 365 at top, middle strip 365, it is giving minimum reinforcement at the top. As you have we know that will be number of amount of force is very less. We can see that in the below story, as the amount of load acting on the beam is more, you can see the area of reinforcement is increasing as story level is decreased from the higher level. So you can have a look of amount of area of reinforcement has been needs to be provided in individual beams. So if you right click, if you click on any beam and if you right click, you'll be able to see the details, how much amount of bottom steel, top steel needs to be provided, and the respective details you can see here. In the option you can able to see how much amount of rebars it is required for particular beam, individual beams, and so those details will be available. Or if you want a diagram, the respective diagram for the beam along with the reinforcements will be displayed here. So you can use this as your reference for doing the detailing work. So you can have another options are also available, like uh, if you want to check the analysis whether our model has passed, uh, if any member is failed, in the any one of the member is failed, then you will be able to see that that member will be in a red color, which means that particular member has been failed. If you want to confirm that if there is no failure, just click on this verify all members whether they have passed or not. So once you click on that, it will give that concrete members pass the design check, means which means there is no failure is occurring, which means with the amount of force we applied, with the cross section properties which we have given, it is satisfactory that it is the beam, the members and the columns are uh, transferring the force, the loads into the supports or into the foundation. So that is the importance of checking these members, and also check with analysis and design whether if there is any mistakes if you are done, you will be able to uh, get a note error message, so that you can check the particular beam property. If you are not properly assigned any beam property, those errors will be displayed here. So this is if you want to change some sections, for example, if that particular beam is failing, then you can change the entire beam section, and you can increase the size, then thereby you'll be able to do the again you can check for the analysis, again you can check for the design, so then you'll be able to get the you can be able to verify all the members which will be passed. So these are all some other information, and one more information is you go to this design display info. In the output you can have different details, for example, the one which we are seeing is longitudinal reinforcement. These are all longitudinal reinforcement. If you want to see the reinforcement in percentage, so click on reburn percentage, apply. If you see the elevation, you would be able to see that what is the amount of percentage of steel needs to be provided. This is so you can use this for your design purpose. And shear reinforcement, what is the amount of shear reinforcement that also been provided here. And similarly you have quite lot of options, so you click on the respective and you will be able to get uh, the required details. Normally these are the two which we use. Three, one is longitudinal reinforcement percentage, rebar percentage, and shear reinforcement. Using that, you can provide a number of bars. Software is also going to provide number of bars, but it will be normally uneconomical. So you have to do manually. You can cross check and you can utilize. You can provide the diameter of bar in such a way that you can satisfy this percentage of steel required, the amount of percentage of steel required. So that will be saving you a lot of material. So if for in the software it will be providing maybe 380 390 square of reinforcement instead of 365. So you can actually remove some you can reduce the diameter of the bars, thereby you will be able to get the required amount of steel at that respective places. Now once we have done the design of a multi-story building, now we can look into detailings. So in the detailing, we have this rebar selection rules. There are a set of rules which the software will take according to the codal provisions. Either you need to choose whether non-seismic case or seismic case according to the codal provisions, S13920 or SP34. Accordingly, the reinforcement details will be considered. So, for example, if you take uh, here, we have number of minimum number of bars to be 2, or if you want the minimum number of spacing of bars is will normally take 80 so you can make changes here, and according to your requirement, the amount of rebar size, what is the diameter of the bars you require. So all those bar sizes you can choose from the list, and you can fix the uh, diameter of the bars, and you can fix the minimum number of bars. You can fix the uh, spacing between the bars. So before we do detailing, you can check for these options for slab, beams, and columns. These piers will come only in bridges, and all spandrels will come in different type of structures. So we'll be looking into slab, beams, and columns here in multi-story structure, where you give the preference, and you click OK. So now if you go to design, once you're done with the rules, then you click on calculating this rebar for detailing. So it will actually give the result. It's giving warning because we don't have any peers spandrels has been defined, so it's not giving the result. Okay, it's okay, but we are going to see the detailings of we're going to get the detailings of the beams, columns, uh, from the based on the result. Okay, you can get a complete report of the work. For example, if you want to take a report here, go to create report. You can go to advanced where you can get it in XML format, or if you want to just see the reports here, click on show project reports. The software will be providing you the amount of reinforcement to be provided at different beams, different columns. You can see that a report has been generated here. We have the reports for structural details, properties, what we have assigned, and loads, and what are the analysis results, and what are the design results. So you can go to each one of them and you can check the results. So go to this report viewer here. You will be able to see the results for the different. See, for example, you have story 4. At the story 4, what is the moments, and similarly you will be able to get what is the amount of reinforcement has been provided. So all those details are available in this report. Or if you want, you can copy this, you can save it to, or you can print it, take a printout, or you can export it to some Word documents. Clicking on this, you will be able to export these details into Word, or even you can take a printout. Okay, you can see here that in the result, story 3 at different beams level, what is the amount of reinforcement needs to be provided at top and bottom. So all these details are available, so which will be useful for us to make a detailing work. And also, if you want to take any snapshots, so that also you can do. For example, you are interested to check the you are interested to take this snapshot of some bending moment diagrams, or anyone particular beams results, so that also you can do it. So for example, if you want to know, take the picture to file. Here you have capture picture, so you can capture the picture which is here shown here. Entire screen you can take, or current window, or the title bar, or whatever you required in PDF format, or it in the AutoCAD format. So you can take a snapshot, and you want to check the you want to paste this figure into your report. So that is how you can take a snapshot. You can see the picture here, which will be available here. It's taken from the screenshot, so you can use this and you can put it in your report. So this is the advantage of taking this screenshot. So you can look for other properties. You can check the other beams, and you can do the change the properties, and then you can again, to change the property again, you need to uncheck this, and again you have to assign the required properties, then again you have to run the analysis. So each time when you want to change any changes in sections, you need to uncheck and you need to redo the analysis. I hope this video has been helpful for you for understanding the basics concepts of modeling and designing of multi-story structure using it. Thank you very much. Feel free to ask any doubts regarding the concepts, so we'll be able to help you people.